Welcome back to Turning the Mirror podcast. And here at the hot seat, I'm here with my co-host Olengo Kwach and myself, Worth Kaboko. And this is where we raise high the lenses of politics and governance. And today we are going to focus on the resignation of President of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto. Today we had the speech of the current so-called opposition leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, when he calls to William Ruto that he should resign, and Jeremiah Kioni was saying that this man, we should arrest him. And he was bringing comparison to what happened to, should it be South Korea?
Yes.
Where maybe the state officers, maybe these institutions, they went and arrested the president.
Yes.
And he was taken out of office. In Kenya, the situation that we have today, economy is not right. And even the politics that is playing around in our country, when people are trying to raise their voices, abductions are seen, and we are seeing so many things which are being done by the president of Kenya, which are very unconstitutional. Having that also, it was confirmed by Justin Muturi that the president is also behind the abduction that are taking place in Kenya. And every family is touched, though maybe not directly, but at least a neighbor or two has been affected by the current affairs. So, Kwach, do you really think that it's possible Ruto can be thrown out of office, whatsoever the case?
Very much possible.
Okay.
Very much possible. It's possible because, there are several occasions or reasons that would lead to that. In any country, in major revolutions we've seen many state officers, many dictators, many presidents, many heads of states and governments actually thrown out of office through very huge protests.
Kindly highlight the state of the country or the nation that may bring the need to push him out of office. The state, what is happening? What is a mess in the country?
Okay, right now, let's just be sincere. In as much as, you see, if a government is really working, there's no need for a government to keep being on the press, to keep being on the roofs of vehicles, trying to convince the masses that we are delivering, that the economy is now growing. That is not the work of a government. The work of a government is to deliver and then let the people tell of what is happening. Because if at all they were delivering, then the people would be feeling it. In as much as Ruto is saying, the economy is now good, the economy is growing, or I've done A, B, C, D, are you feeling it in your pocket? You are not feeling it. So the state of economy is very poor. Look at Kenya and then compare Kenya to our neighboring countries like Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda. We were way much ahead of these countries, and that's why you'll even see our currency way much ahead of these countries, very, very much stronger. But today, these countries economically, they are kind of surpassing us. Look at Rwanda. You'll even wonder what is happening in Kenya. So state of economy is very bad. We have, you see, if the constitution says that the sovereignty remains with the people. And so if the people are not comfortable with your way of leadership, with what you are doing with your governance, they'll try to advise.
Sure.
If they've advised and you're not taking the advice, because by then this government, at all costs, they are mocking Kenyans. Because you say this, the next day you see them on TVs, you see them on the roof of the vehicles. They are answering to what you are saying and react to it negatively. So then Kenyans came out to protest. Yeah, they were protesting what they saw as a very bad thing. And like the way of governance, so many things. Kenyans were against so many things.
Sure.
But then the government again retaliated by abductions. People were killed, bullets, and police were arresting people. You are arrested without even there's no crime committed.
Yeah, sure.
We even saw the government again still send officers out there to arrest people, others abduct people. These guys are in civilian clothes. They are masked, but they are operating using police vehicles.
Oh, sure. And now that let's get to the statement of Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. This man says that the president should resign. Do you really think with the state that we have, and what do you think are the possibilities that can push him to resign? Is it about mass protest, people going back to the streets? Or is it that maybe some more pressure or something otherwise?
What I know is simple. Looking at how things are, it's like governing this country has kind of defeated William Ruto. Because in terms of governance, everything is poor. In terms of state delivery or government delivery, very poor. In terms of security, which is the mandate of the police, of the government, very poor. Like everything is poor. There's nowhere aside politics. There's nowhere this government is performing. And therefore, the only thing I want to rule out possibility of Ruto resigning.
Personally.
The man I know in Ruto, I don't see him resigning. The only option here, we have two things that can happen. If at all he is to resign, which I'm ruling out, then that means maybe there's a lot of pressure from both within and outside the country.
Yeah.
And the pressure within, he still thinks and feels he can contain it. So maybe the pressure outside the country, like the foreign countries, the superpowers and everybody, maybe they sanction they sanction his accounts. They don't allow him to visit those countries. Like they ensure he's stuck just here in Kenya. That might kind of push him, but I don't see him resigning.
And do you really think that, as you said, that you don't think that the internal pressure can get him out of office? If every Kenyan gets out to the street?
The internal pressure can get him out of office. Don't misunderstand me. I said he thinks he can contain the internal pressure. But if Kenyans get out in large numbers, think of the day, the 25th of June, when Kenyans, they decided to say the bullet or bullet, and they went straight to the parliament buildings. They occupied parliament. In as much as young people were killed, like animals, but parliament was occupied. And we even had part of it in flames. So if people can come out, even a bigger number than what we saw on that day. Because remember, since independence, Kenya has had protests for multi-party, for democracy, for freedoms. We've had protests for finance bills, like for 2023 finance bill, but no protest has ever reached parliament buildings. So that shows you, by the way, Ruto was shaken. The whole government was shaken. And even the MPs were shaken. So that tells you, if people can come out and they have a goal and they decide this is what we want Ruto out of office, and they decide we are going all the way to the State House.
And with the international pressure, we recently saw President Ruto when he went to the inauguration in Ghana, and President Traore completely assumed Ruto. Does it communicate maybe some external pressures trying to come in, and also the turn down of the visit of the King of Netherlands?
Of course, that is why I can confidently say that I'm seeing Ruto vacating office before 2027. One thing, you see somebody like Traore, he's not a civilian president. This is someone who saw things going very bad and then decided that he's going to take over power to streamline the governments and ensure the country is running. When he led a coup, our president is among the very first leaders in Africa to condemn that act. In fact, President Ruto is among those who said that is not the way to go. So I don't really see if Traore could befriend him, because if someone is against you are out there, you just want the good for your country, and then somebody who doesn't even decide for you in your country tells you that what you are doing is not good. So I couldn't see Traore and Ruto like being friends. Again, remember what Ruto is doing here are things Traore are against. Abductions. How can you occupy, like today, legislature and judiciary are in the pockets of the executive. Like everything that is happening here, killing innocent souls. Such things I don't think if Traore would support. And then you see now the king, the guy you've just said, the king of Netherlands, Alexander, William Alexander. He just confirmed that he received a lot of emails from Kenyans telling him that please don't come. We are still fixing a few issues. Kuna a few issues hapa na pale, bado tuna fix. So please don't come. If you come, if we see you with that guy, then we'll treat you with the same respect or the same disrespect rather, and everything the same way we treat our president.
And do you think that the United Nations and even the ICC can also help Kenyans in this cause?
Of course they can. We've had when there were abductions, when during the June protests, we had the Secretary General of UN speak about the state of the nation and the state of Kenya. Of course, they just spoke but did nothing. We've had several Kenyans send emails, send messages to the ICC about they want ICC to take action. They want ICC to investigate things that happen in Kenya. We even had the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, talk about the resurgence of Mungiki sect, and he wants ICC to investigate. We've had Kenyans raise serious concerns that they require ICC to take charge and investigate, because it then seems all Kenyans have lost hope in our ways of governance, our institutions, and even our disciplinary institutions like the courts and even the police force. Yeah.
You know, Kenya is a democratic country that we are led by a constitution.
Yeah.
You know, constitutionally, we can say that a president can be impeached through the parliament, and even the parliament can vote a vote of no confidence, and the political pressure can force him out of office. And with the fact that the current parliament is maybe largely covered by the Kenya Kwanza, maybe MPs and the members of parliament. So do you really think that he can undergo impeachment, as we saw with the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua?
That is not possible in Kenya because I just say that our parliament and judiciary are in the pockets of the executive. And therefore, we don't see a possibility of like our parliaments impeaching the president. Because remember, it's something that starts all the way from the National Assembly and ends at the Senate. This is not possible because after all, he's even pocketed the opposition leader, Raila Odinga. And so we have Raila's sycophants, I can call them that way, because most of these people don't think for themselves. They wait for the party leader to think, and then they think that way, even if it is wrong. And so we see these guys now praising Ruto. It's now like a choir, and all of them are choir masters. Yeah.
And with the military case, do you think that if there is a grown outrest in the country and things are out of place, can our military be confident enough?
That is very much possible,
take over the
because
government?
We've seen it happen in several countries.
Okay.
And we've also seen other countries do so well with the military rule. So I think it is possible. If at all, let's say, even if you look at what happened in June 2024, if such a thing can happen and then it keeps happening, but the government is doing nothing about it, the government is not responding positively, it is very possible, because these guys love people and they want their people to be happy. They want their people to live well. And that is why they die out there for the flag and for the people. Yeah.
Thank you. That is what we had for you today. Here is where we ask the big question, and keep connecting to us through the comment section, and even you remember to turn the notification bell and subscribe to DMP Luo Nation. Welcome back.
On behalf of all our technical team and those behind the cameras, we say thank you.